What if I told you that Poland was completely erased from world maps for over a century, that it's home to the world's largest castle, or that a Polish woman discovered elements that changed science forever? Today, I'm sharing 40 absolutely mind-blowing facts about Poland. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be booking a flight to Warsaw. Let's start with the border. Poland shares borders with 7 different countries: Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, and Russia's Kaliningrad region. This strategic position has made Poland a crossroads of European culture, trade, and, unfortunately, conflict throughout history. Here's something that sounds impossible but actually happened. Poland, an entire country, vanished from world maps for 123 years. Between 1795 and 1918, Poland simply didn't exist as an independent nation. It was carved up and divided between Russia, Prussia, and Austria in what became known as the Partitions of Poland. When Poland finally regained independence in 1918, it was like a phoenix rising from the ashes. When most people think of massive castles, they picture England or Germany. But the largest castle in the world by land area isn't in those countries at all. It's the castle of the Teutonic Order in Malbork, Poland, and it's absolutely massive, covering over 143,000 square meters. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 20 football fields of pure medieval fortress. Built in the 13th century by the Teutonic Knights, this isn't just big, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site that makes other European castles look like dollhouses. Poland produced one of the most influential religious leaders in modern history. Born Karol Józef Wojtyła in Wadowice in 1920, Pope John Paul II became the first non-Italian pope in over 400 years when he was elected in 1978. But his impact went far beyond the Catholic Church. Pope John Paul II played a pivotal role in the fall of communism throughout Eastern Europe, especially in his homeland of Poland. His moral authority and unwavering advocacy for human rights helped inspire the Solidarity movement that would eventually bring down the Iron Curtain. After his death, he was canonized as a saint in 2014, cementing his legacy as one of the most important figures of the 20th century. Poland didn't just produce great scientists, it produced one of the greatest scientists in human history. Marie Curie, born Maria Skłodowska in Warsaw, became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person ever to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different scientific fields, physics and chemistry. She discovered 2 new elements, radium and polonium, and she named polonium specifically to honor her beloved homeland of Poland. Poland is widely recognized as home to some of the most beautiful women in Europe, and this isn't just opinion, it's backed by genetics and cultural factors. Polish women are often admired for their striking features, fair complexions, piercing blue or green eyes, and well-defined facial structures that seem to come straight out of fairy tales. But their beauty goes far beyond physical appearance. Polish women are known for their intelligence, elegance, and that perfect balance of traditional values and modern independence. They're educated, ambitious, and possess a natural grace that comes from centuries of Polish culture emphasizing both inner and outer beauty. Do you want to know how to connect or make friends with Polish women on social media or dating apps? If so, leave a comment number 6, and we'll share some interesting tips just for you. Poland gave the world one of the most revolutionary ideas in human history. Nicolaus Copernicus, born in Toruń in 1473, completely changed how humanity sees its place in the universe. Before Copernicus, everyone believed that Earth was the center of the universe and everything revolved around us. Copernicus proved that we actually revolve around the sun, not the other way around. This might seem obvious now, but back then, this idea was so radical it literally changed everything we thought we knew about reality. We touched on this earlier, but the full story of Poland's disappearance and resurrection is even more incredible than you might imagine. For 123 years, from 1795 to 1918, Poland literally did not exist on any world map. The country was completely partitioned between Russia, Prussia, and Austria. Despite having no government, no official borders, and no political independence, Polish culture, language, and identity never died. Families secretly taught their children Polish, preserved their traditions, and kept the dream of independence alive through generations. During World War II, the city was almost completely destroyed by Nazi bombing. We're talking about 85% of the city reduced to rubble, with countless historical buildings, homes, and landmarks completely obliterated. But the Polish people rebuilt their city from scratch using detailed paintings by 18th century artist Bernardo Bellato. They painstakingly reconstructed their old town so perfectly that it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, when you walk through Warsaw's old town, you're seeing buildings that look exactly like they did in the 14th century, but they were actually rebuilt in the 1950s. It's a testament to Polish determination that's absolutely breathtaking. This incredible resilience is why Warsaw earned the nickname Phoenix City, because like the mythical bird, it literally rose from the ashes to become more beautiful than ever before. If this video made you say wait, even once, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It helps us bring you more jaw-dropping content. Long before oil became the foundation of the global economy, a Polish pharmacist named Ignacy Łukasiewicz was changing the world. In 1856, he built the world's very first oil refinery, pioneering an industry that would eventually power the modern world. This wasn't just a random invention, this was a breakthrough that revolutionized how humanity would light its homes, power its vehicles, and fuel its industries. The first bulletproof vest was invented by Polish inventor Jan Szczepanik in 1901. This wasn't just a simple protective garment, it was a revolutionary piece of technology that would go on to save countless lives in military and law enforcement applications. Szczepanik was known as the Polish Edison for his numerous inventions, but the bulletproof vest might be his most important contribution to human safety. The fact that this life-saving technology was pioneered in Poland shows how Polish innovation has been quietly protecting people around the world for over a century. You think you know about wildlife? Well, Poland is literally a stork paradise. Nearly 25% of all white storks in the entire world choose to nest in Poland during summer. The village of Siedlce has earned the title of European Stork Capital, hosting about 40 stork pairs every season. But here's the really fascinating part. In Polish culture, storks are considered incredibly lucky. They're believed to bring babies, prosperity, and good fortune to any household they choose to nest in. If you think English is complicated, wait until you hear about Polish. Polish is considered one of the most challenging languages for English speakers to learn, and for good reason. It has 7 different cases for nouns, complex pronunciation with consonant clusters that look impossible to pronounce, and grammar rules that would make your head spin. Take the word sesi, which means happiness. Go ahead, try to pronounce that. The Polish alphabet has 32 letters, including 9 that don't even exist in English. In the heart of Wrocław, you'll find over 350 tiny gnome sculptures scattered throughout the city. These aren't just random decorations, they're part of an incredible treasure hunt that has become a beloved tradition for both tourists and locals. Each gnome has its own personality, its own story, and its own special location. Some are hidden in corners, others are prominently displayed, and finding them all has become a challenge that brings out the childlike wonder in everyone who visits. Every year, Polish people celebrate Tłusty Czwartek, or Fat Thursday, in a way that would make donut lovers everywhere jealous. On this day, millions of Poles indulge in eating pyszki, traditional Polish donuts that are far superior to anything you'll find at your local donut shop. These aren't ordinary donuts. Pyszki are deep-fried pieces of heaven, traditionally filled with rose jam, custard, or other delicious fillings, and dusted with powdered sugar or glazed. On Fat Thursday, Polish bakeries work overtime to meet the incredible demand, and it's estimated that over 100 million pyszki are consumed across Poland in a single day. You've probably seen pictures of Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, but Poland actually has the world's tallest statue of Jesus Christ. The Christ the King statue in Świebodzin stands at an incredible 118 feet tall when you include the crown, making it taller than the famous Brazilian statue. This massive monument isn't just impressive for its size, it's a symbol of Poland's deep Catholic faith. With over 92% of the population identifying as Roman Catholic, Poland has one of the highest percentages of Catholics in the world. This statue represents the spiritual heart of a nation that has maintained its faith through centuries of hardship and oppression. Imagine eating at a restaurant that has been serving customers since 1275. That's exactly what you can do at Pumienka Swidnika in Wrocław, one of the oldest restaurants in all of Europe. This incredible establishment has been operating for over 700 years, serving meals in the medieval cellars beneath Wrocław's old town hall. This restaurant was already ancient when Christopher Columbus discovered America. It was serving food when Leonardo da Vinci was painting the Mona Lisa. The walls of this place have witnessed more history than most museums, and you can still sit down and have a meal there today. Deep beneath the city of Krakow lies one of the most spectacular underground worlds you'll ever see. The Wiedź salt mine has been operating since the 13th century, but it's not just a mine, it's an underground masterpiece. Miners carved entire chapels, chambers, and even sculptures out of pure salt, creating what's essentially an underground cathedral. When you descend 135 meters below the surface, you enter a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers that look like something from a fantasy movie. There are salt chandeliers, salt altars, and even salt statues of famous historical figures. This UNESCO World Heritage Site proves that Polish creativity and craftsmanship know no bounds, even hundreds of feet underground. When you think of video game development, you might think of Japan or the United States. But Poland has quietly become one of the world's most important gaming hubs. CD Projekt, the company behind the Witcher series and Cyberpunk 2077, is based in Warsaw and has become one of the most valuable gaming companies in Europe. The Witcher series alone has sold over 50 million copies worldwide, and it's all based on Polish literature by Andrzej Sapkowski. Poland isn't just creating games, it's creating entire fantasy worlds that captivate millions of players around the globe. In the small village of Nowe Zarnowo, there's something that looks like it belongs in a Tim Burton movie, The Crooked Forest. This mysterious grove contains about 400 pine trees that all grow with a bizarre 90-degree bend at the base of their trunks, creating an otherworldly landscape that seems to defy natural law. What makes this even more mysterious is that nobody knows exactly why these trees grow this way. They were planted in the 1930s, and theories range from human manipulation to gravitational anomalies to snow damage. When you think of European landscapes, deserts probably don't come to mind. But Poland is home to the Błoto Desert, Central Europe's largest accumulation of loose sand, spanning over 12 square miles. This isn't some tiny patch of sand, this is a real desert with rolling dunes and an almost otherworldly landscape. It's the result of medieval mining activities and environmental changes that created this unique ecosystem right in the middle of temperate Europe. Today, it's used as a filming location for movies that need desert scenes, proving that Poland can literally provide any landscape you can imagine. You might think of apples as being typically American, but Poland is actually the world's largest exporter of apples, contributing almost 25% of global apple exports. Polish apples aren't just abundant, they're considered some of the highest quality in the world, reaching markets from China to the United States. Polish orchards stretch across the countryside like something from a fairy tale, and during harvest season, the entire country smells like fresh apples. Deep in eastern Poland lies something that most of Europe lost centuries ago, a primeval forest that has remained virtually unchanged for thousands of years. The Białowieża forest is Europe's last remaining fragment of the immense primeval forest that once covered the entire continent. This isn't just any forest, it's home to the European bison, the continent's largest land mammal, which was brought back from the brink of elimination through Polish conservation efforts. In Poland, people celebrate name days almost like birthdays. Each day of the year is associated with specific names, and when your name day arrives, you receive gifts, flowers, and special attention from family and friends. This tradition means that Polish people essentially get two special days every year, their birthday and their name day. It's a beautiful way of celebrating identity and heritage, and it creates dozens of additional opportunities for families and friends to come together throughout the year. And for a country that many people know little about, Poland has an incredible 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These include the historic centers of Warsaw and Krakow, the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp, the Wieliczka salt mine, and the ancient Białowieża forest we just mentioned. To put this in perspective, Poland has more UNESCO sites than countries like Sweden, Norway, or Denmark. Poland was centuries ahead of its time when it came to democratic principles. The Polish Constitution of May 3, 1791, was the first written constitution in Europe, and only the second in world history, following the United States Constitution by just 4 years. This groundbreaking document established principles of democracy, religious tolerance, and individual rights that were revolutionary for their time. Unfortunately, Poland's neighbors didn't appreciate these progressive ideas and used them as justification for the partitions that would erase Poland from the map. The debate between Russia and Poland over who invented vodka continues to this day, but many compelling historical records suggest vodka originated in Poland as early as the 8th century. Polish vodka, traditionally distilled from grains or potatoes, is renowned worldwide for its exceptional purity and smoothness. Polish vodka makers have perfected their craft over more than 500 years, and today Polish vodka brands are considered among the finest in the world. When Polish people toast with zdrowie, meaning to your health, they're continuing a tradition that spans centuries of master distilling. If you love castles, Poland is basically paradise on earth. The country boasts over 500 castles and 2,500 manor houses scattered across its landscape. From medieval fortresses perched on hilltops to Renaissance palaces surrounded by gardens, Poland looks like it was designed by someone who wanted to create the perfect fairy tale kingdom. Many of these castles have been beautifully restored and are open to visitors, offering a chance to step back in time and experience the grandeur of Poland's noble past. Pierogi, Poland's beloved stuffed dumplings, are so treasured that they have their own national holiday on October 8th. These aren't just dumplings, they're cultural icons that represent the heart of Polish comfort food. From classic potato and cheese fillings to sweet versions with berries, pierogi showcase the diversity and creativity of Polish cuisine. What makes pierogi special isn't just their taste, it's the tradition of families gathering together to make them. Polish grandmothers pass down their secret recipes through generations, and the process of making pierogi becomes a way of preserving family bonds and cultural heritage. Mushroom picking in Poland isn't just a hobby, it's a deeply rooted cultural tradition that combines outdoor adventure with culinary expertise. Polish forests are abundant with edible mushrooms, and families pass down the knowledge of safe foraging from generation to generation. Children learn from a young age how to identify safe mushrooms from poisonous ones, turning forest expeditions into educational adventures. The mushrooms gathered during these trips become key ingredients in traditional Polish dishes like mushroom soup and bigos, creating a direct connection between the natural world and Polish cuisine. Polish people marry on average at ages 25 to 27, making them the youngest newlyweds in the entire European Union. Polish weddings are legendary celebrations that can last for days, featuring traditional music, dancing, and customs that have been passed down for generations. If you're ever invited to a Polish wedding, prepare for an unforgettable experience filled with joy, tradition, and incredible hospitality. The Polish currency, the zloty, literally means golden in Polish. This name reflects the historical value and prestige of Polish currency, even though modern zloty coins and bills aren't made of actual gold. The name serves as a reminder of Poland's prosperous past and its ongoing economic strength. Today, the zloty is one of the more stable currencies in Central Europe, reflecting Poland's successful transition to a market economy and its strong position within the European Union. Warsaw's iconic palace of culture and science isn't just filled with offices and theaters, it's also home to some very special residence bees. On the rooftop of this massive building, beehives have been established as part of urban beekeeping initiatives that promote biodiversity in the city. These urban bees help pollinate the surrounding green areas and produce honey right in the heart of Poland's capital. But that's not all. The building also houses feral cats that help control the rodent population, making this skyscraper a unique ecosystem in the middle of a bustling city. In the village of Simbark stands one of the world's most unique architectural statements, the first upside-down house ever built. This isn't just a tourist attraction, it's a powerful symbol of the disorientation and chaos that Polish people felt during communist rule in the 1970s. The house is completely inverted, with its roof on the ground and foundation pointing toward the sky. Walking through its topsy-turvy interior gives visitors a physical sensation of how life felt when everything familiar was turned upside down. Since opening in 2007, this house has become a profound reminder of Poland's journey from oppression to freedom. In Polish culture, bread holds an almost sacred status that goes far beyond simple nutrition. There's a beautiful tradition that if bread falls to the ground, you must pick it up and kiss it as a sign of respect. This custom reflects the deep appreciation Polish people have for food, born from centuries of hardship and the understanding that nothing should be wasted. Poland experiences 4 dramatically different seasons that showcase the country's natural beauty in constantly changing ways. Winters can be harsh and snowy, especially in the mountains and northern regions, creating a winter wonderland perfect for skiing and winter sports. Spring brings an explosion of color as parks and forests burst into bloom, while summers are warm and vibrant with long daylight hours and countless outdoor festivals. Autumn transforms the landscape into a painter's palette of gold, red, and orange. Frédéric Chopin, one of the world's greatest composers, was born in Poland, and his connection to his homeland influenced his music throughout his life. Even though he spent much of his career in Paris, Chopin's compositions are deeply rooted in Polish folk music, dance rhythms, and national spirit. His mazurkas and polonaises aren't just beautiful pieces of music, they're musical expressions of Polish identity and culture. Today, Poland honors Chopin with numerous festivals, competitions, and monuments, including benches throughout Warsaw that play his music at the touch of a button. The Jagiellonian University in Krakow, founded in 1364, is one of the oldest universities in the world and the second oldest in Central Europe. Nicolaus Copernicus studied here before revolutionizing astronomy. Pope John Paul II taught philosophy here before becoming pope. The university's library contains one of the largest collections of medieval manuscripts in Poland, including Copernicus' own writings. For over 650 years, this university has been shaping brilliant minds and advancing human knowledge. The solidarity movement that emerged in Poland during the 1980s didn't just change Poland, it helped bring down the entire Soviet system and ended the Cold War. Led by electrician-turned-activist Lech Walesa, Solidarity became the first independent labor union in a Soviet bloc country. What started as a shipyard workers' strike in Gdansk grew into a nationwide movement of 10 million members, representing one-third of Poland's working population. Poland's geographic position in the heart of Europe makes it a unique meeting point between Eastern and Western cultures, traditions, and influences. Bordered by 7 countries including Germany, Russia, and Ukraine, Poland has absorbed and blended influences from across the continent while maintaining its distinct identity. This cultural crossroads position has made Poland incredibly diverse and cosmopolitan. You can see Gothic cathedrals next to Orthodox churches, taste cuisine influenced by German, Russian, and Lithuanian traditions, and experience architecture that spans centuries of different cultural influences. There you have it, 40 absolutely incredible facts about Poland that prove this country is one of Europe's most fascinating and underrated destinations. If you're planning your next adventure, consider Poland. Whether you're interested in history, nature, culture, food, or simply meeting some of the warmest and most hospitable people in Europe, Poland delivers experiences that will exceed every expectation. What surprised you most about Poland? Have you visited this incredible country? Or are you now planning your first trip? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you learned something new about this amazing nation. And don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on notifications bell so we can see you again in our next video. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you enjoyed it. Your support truly means the world. Wishing you the best of luck. We are so glad you are with us today. Please leave a comment, like the video to support us, and subscribe for more videos. See you soon.